Hey, we got the coach tonight.
The Dan Yorke State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Takeo Comfort Solutions.
I know that's kind of a funny intro, but we ad-lib everything around here. Anyway, it's great to have you aboard. Thanks very much for tuning in to my State of Mind this evening. Here's what I was looking forward to, an opportunity to dig into the mind of the new head coach of the University of Rhode Island men's basketball program. And schedules being what they are and opening day being next week, it works out timing-wise wonderfully. For those of you who are expecting a dig-down election preliminary analysis, I think we've done plenty of that over the course of the last couple of months, and we'll continue to do so on WPRI weekdays 3 till 6. Of course, you're seeing this either on Friday night on Fox or Sunday night on WPRI 12, and we will have a kind of a recap of what has been a hectic general election season, mostly in CD2 and the governor's race, right? The congressional district, second to replace Jim Langevin, and the governor's race on the Monday radio program. Probably repeat some important excerpts of those debates for those of you who are still trying to formulate an opinion and decide who to vote for on Tuesday. So, as many of you know, I'm nothing but a dumb jock anyway, and full disclosure, as if it's got to be disclaimed, I am, for the last decade, the voice of the Ryan Center as the public address announcer at the URI Games. And so take that with a grain of salt as I dig in to this conversation with our new head coach, Archie Miller. Let's bring Archie on. We're on Zoom tonight, by the way, because the coach is recording this conversation with me on a Thursday, and it's a busy day. Every day is a busy day for Coach Miller. Let's say hello. Coach, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
So, look, it's what, 6 months since your introduction. Let's play some of your words at the beginning.
I've never been more hungry. I mean, when you don't have a team, you're not part of the team, and you're actually on a team for 30 straight years of your life, that craving of being involved in that camaraderie is something that you genuinely take for granted sometimes. And I think I'll never take for granted ever again being a part of a program and having people with you every day, a common goal. That's something that I'm excited to get back.
So, Coach, you were reflecting on the year off that you had after leaving Indiana and having some space between accepting the URI job. Of course, I know you from being down the bench in the Atlantic 10, coaching, and actually with my mind and heart split as a Dayton alum, me, watching the Dayton coach, we know you from that, but a lot of folks don't realize that you took a year off. Tell us about that space and time.
Well, I tell you, it's very unique, and it's very odd in a fast-paced world of collegiate athletics. In coaching, that you get an opportunity to sit back, take a deep breath, and really kind of evaluate yourself and how you want to do things moving forward. If you get another opportunity, if you want an opportunity, it was really a sabbatical. I think a lot of people kind of look at it as a sabbatical, and it was time well spent for me. I had some time to relax with my family, have an opportunity to spend some time with them when I normally wouldn't. Also had some time to process what I missed about the game of basketball, what I wanted to do with the game moving forward. And it brought a lot of clarity, to the picture.
What did you miss?
I think the biggest thing is, from the time you're a little guy, in my estimation, probably 5 or 6 years old, basketball has been a part of my world, and I'm just turned 44. So, realistically, for 35 years, the game of basketball has been something that's been on my mind every day. You're a part of a team as a player. You're a part of a team as an assistant coach. Then you become a part of a team or a program as a head coach. Every single day, 365 days a year, everything that you do kind of revolved around that. And when it's taken away, you act as if, boy, it'd be nice to take a break and not have to do the recruiting or not have to do the coaching, or boy, it'd be nice to just sit back and watch, everyone else go through it. But when that first ball goes up and you kind of watch that first game of the season get tipped off about this time a year ago, it's really the first time in 35 years you haven't been on a bench.
Yeah.
And me, that's what I missed.
Yeah, I get that. Look, the collegiate basketball world has an elite level. You are in it, having coached Dayton and probably being, Dayton being the highest respected program on a year in, year out, maybe with Virginia Commonwealth being a second. Of course, URI has lived there at the top, more on than off in the last decade. But this is a big business. And when you went to Indiana from Dayton and spent 4 years there, and then they let you go, some fans would say, you know what, I'd love to be let go from a multi-million-dollar deal. What's the big deal? But somehow it seems to me that coaches like you separate the compensatory issues from the personal stuff. And it sounds to me like it was a little bit of a punch to the gut, was it?
There's no question. I mean, anytime that you're in a situation where there's struggle or there's separation, especially when it comes to your professional, world, whether it's by your choice or whether by somebody else's choice, there's that disappointment. There's that lack of confidence that kind of comes in with something that didn't go right, whether you lose a game or whether you obviously lose your job, or however it works. But there's that unfulfillment of not getting the job done, one way or another, however you want to look at it. And a lot of people handle it differently. A lot of people, move on with their world in different ways. I think for myself, being where I'm at, the competitor that I am, being able to resurrect, my philosophy, being able to bring the best out in another program, being able to be the best I can be for our players, that's what drives me. That's what that's what motivates me, is being able to get that going again. I have that opportunity now, but there's no question that you're disappointed when things don't go your way. There's also the reality of what could you control in those situations that you could have done better, and make sure that as you move forward, you're more prepared for another opportunity down the line that you could be good.
So what do you learn from that experience?
I think the biggest thing is, there's a lot of things in your control and there's a lot of things aren't. And I think the one thing that you have to really keep in mind as you run a program or you're involved in collegiate basketball or whatever it is, the things that are very, very important that you can control, that you value, that you believe in, those have to be the things every single day that you're striving for excellence in with your team, your assistant coaches, and whatever it may be. You can't get caught up in the 900 different battles that are coming, down the line from the media, or winning a game or losing a game. I think you really have to be centrally focused in on what's really, really important and what do you value. And those are the things that you hit every single day, that you hammer on with your players, your assistant coaches, and you try to execute. I think the biggest thing that I can take away from my experiences with some success and with not having success is you as the head coach have to really do a great job of teaching, and you have to fully embrace what you value, and you have to be able to execute that plan every single day, not on game day, every single day. And I think you have to be able to get that thing running in a mode where everybody in your organization is focused in on the things that are important, and that's all that matters. And good things will happen after that. There has to be a belief from the head on down.
Yeah. So when you talk about every day and not game day, I wonder whether the time spent since you arrived here back in mid-late March has felt like a blur or a long time coming.
No, I think a blur. I think when you had a lot of time to sit on your butt, so to speak, and figure things out, when you finally do get that opportunity, let me just tell you, it goes from 0 to 100 miles an hour really fast. Every single day from arriving here at URI has been full throttle in terms of assembling a staff, building the team that's going to take the floor this year, building the teams that will take down the line in the future. How are you going to play? How are you going to develop your players? All of those things that you thought about, for the months that you weren't involved, you have to be ready to install. so to speak. And I think from the time that we've taken the job until right now, it's been a blur. It's hard to believe that, it's been 5 or 6 months and the opening tip-off to the season's going to be here. But that's how it works. It works fast. This is a business that goes 0 to 100 very quickly.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll pause. We'll come back and we'll talk about expectations for this brand new moment for URI basketball. Stay with us.
This is a very, very sneaky good place, I think, at times that can get lost in the shuffle of the world of college basketball. This is a place that, to me, can really explode onto the scene. And if we do it right, it's a place that hopefully you can sustain it and build it to last.
Yeah, you know what? I think those comments by Archie Miller are resonating words. I think everybody around here knows that when things are hot in Kingston, they're hot. When they're not, sometimes they're not. And Coach Miller, the environment here with PC being a dominant force, both reputationally with the college and the basketball program, and URI, always kind of trying to make sure it is as respected. It's been the way of the world all the way through. Talk to me about what you understand the landscape to be in terms of both the marketing of the program and the expectations for a full building.
Well, I think, number one, I'm very comfortable with the chip on my shoulder. It's kind of how I was brought up. It's kind of how I had to survive in the game of basketball. I also was at the University of Dayton for 6 years. You're in the shadow of Ohio State. You're in the shadow of Xavier. You're in the Atlantic 10, surrounded by Big Ten schools. There's always a fight for your place at the table, so to speak. And I feel like that edge helps you. I feel like that edge can create a mindset of your team and your players in terms of how you compete, how you view yourself. And I think University of Rhode Island's in a very similar position. Number one, over decades and decades and countless coaches and players, tremendous amount of success, has been brought here. Championship type teams, postseason teams, NCAA tournament runs, championships that, in the last 5 or 6 years have been right there on the cusp of winning back-to-back NCAA tournament games with Coach Hurley. I was in the league at the same time that Rhode Island, obviously was forging their way up just like we were. So, and I also know the lay of the land here in New England and the state of Rhode Island. Providence being a traditional Big East school from way back. There's a lot of branding that goes into the Big East. There's a lot of publicity that goes into that type of coverage. And being in the same state as them, a small state, being URI, the state school versus Providence, the Big East school, I get that relationship. I do. But our program has the capabilities to be as good as we want to be. We've shown that in the past. Can we be an NCAA tournament perennial team? Can we be a conference tournament, a conference regular season champ every year? That's my expectation and my goals and what I want to build here in terms of not for the short term, but perennial every year they're knocking on that door.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense to me. Having gone to the University of Dayton myself and being a proud grad and alum of the institution, I would point out one difference, and that is Dayton's a basketball town, and the Flyers are all they have, at least in that Montgomery County area. Here, you're still battling for some split attention. The UD Arena, I have boasted to my buddies, I think is one of the top 5 toughest places in the country to play every year. The Ryan Center can be when it's full. And nobody knows it better than me because I know the volume I need to use on a microphone in the building when it's 3,500, 4,500, 5,500, 6,500, and then sold out. So we got some building to do. But yes. Coach Cooley the other day at the coaches versus cancer breakfast, said it right when asked what are the toughest places to play. He mentioned the Ryan Center because I know he hates playing there. Right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
So
I've played in the Ryan Center on a few occasions, as an opponent, and it's been as tough as a place that you'll find. That's why a lot of respect I have for the building, and in particular the fans. We have great fans here. Rhode Island, basketball fans are all over the East Coast, but in particular up in this way, They love their Rams. And to me, the Ryan Center is an exceptional building. It's a beautiful building to watch basketball. It's a great venue to play in, and we have to get it going. It's like I said last night to somebody. I think as a coach, sometimes as a program, you want the building full. I think the people in the building want to come and watch a team compete and play hard and do all the things that they want to respect. It goes hand in hand. We have to earn the right to get our fans to be embracing our team and our program and want to be there for us. It doesn't just kind of work one way where we ask you to come and then we play like crap and then you go home and then you come back again and do it again. It doesn't work that way. We have to provide the energy on the floor to get the Ryan Center going. But I will say this: when it is going, it's as good as it gets. We have to get our students involved here right now. We have a great student section. We have a great student base here on campus. But the Ryan Center can be a place that obviously is a strength, and we have to build that.
Yeah, no doubt. All righty, when we come back, we'll talk about expectations for a brand new year. Stay with us.
To me, Thor really spelling out the university, our new president, Mark Carlange, the history, the vision moving forward, what we want. So to me, it was much more a people decision than it was coaching decision.
It's a recent Media Day comment from our guest, Archie Miller, who joins us on Zoom from his office. Busy prep days. Of course, Quinnipiac is in hold on a second, what's that? Oh, let me click on my Zoom and make sure that we're okay here. Yeah, there we are. Now that's live, sort of live television. When you're Zooming, who knows what. Anyway, listen, Coach Miller's got to call a couple audibles during a ball game too. Timeout and regroup. Expectations for this season. The team, Coach, even as the guy behind the microphone, you forced me to do some homework. I've got to meet some of these kids at least, and get familiar with pronunciations and get it all right. By my count, you get about 5 or 6 returning players from what is this crazy new process of bringing kids in. And talk to us about that, because it can't be easy.
Well, it's a much different landscape to build a team. It's a much different landscape to coach a team in 2022. A lot of moving parts with being able to transfer more fluidly and being able to go from place to place without penalty. It opens up, really a world of sort of like free agency a little bit where guys are moving around a lot. But in our case, taking over a position, having the need to build a program here in year one with some parts, and adding to the returning guys that were coming back, we felt like we handled a couple different areas. The transfer portal was one, the high school prospects was another, and then obviously guys that had multiple years that, as we view, we are able to develop people from year to year. We have some guys that we can get a little bit older with as we go, but it's a completely new team. It's a completely new team to each other as well. We have a lot of work to do in terms of that type of chemistry, court symmetry, all that stuff that's going on, but it's a different world that we live in terms of being able to move players kind of coming in. And, when you take over a place to need 8 new guys or whatever it may be, we had to do our due diligence, but we needed some guys that could play multiple years, that could fill some needs, and we have to put it together now.
Yeah, it seems to me that I only got a couple of quick questions here on roster, and we're not going to go down the list of players, folks. You're going to have to come to the Ryan Center and see them for yourselves. But it's kind of a challenge, right? Here you are trying to build a long-term legacy, yet you have to fill 2/3 of the holes in the lineup, and so. And then again, you've also got to take care of these young men because they are, quote, student athletes, right? And you've got a whole life that you've got to prepare for them academically. That still matters in this college basketball game, does it not?
It does. I think everything right now is talking about all of the other things in collegiate athletics or collegiate sports, whether it's NIL opportunities or money being earned or transfer portal, being able to do this and that. And at the end of the day, are you maximizing your opportunity to get an education and get a degree? And that's an important process in recruiting in terms of bringing kids to the University of Rhode Island. We want guys that obviously want the collegiate experience, that want the opportunity to obtain a degree. And I was part of who we added here, guys that are doing a good job in school, that have an opportunity to grow with us, that we have an opportunity to maximize their potential on the court, but also in this community, in terms of this campus community, doing a great job in school.
All right, a bit of news did come down as we were taping this today. One of your assistant coaches, Kenny Johnson, who was involved in an investigation at Louisville, seems like he got a pretty good adjudication. He can remain with the club, but is restricted in recruiting. It's not my beat, nor my specific investigative interest, but do you have a short statement on what's going on with that?
Yeah, we're pleased for Kenny. I mean, it's a long time coming in terms of closure. It's a 6-year process from his time at Louisville. As I'm trying to hire a staff and build a staff, I talked to Kenny a lot over the course of the year. And, whether this opportunity was one that we'd be able to work together, I didn't know. But very transparent on the front end. Nothing that happened today was any surprise. I think that now that it's official, we can kind of move forward with strictly URI decisions in terms of basketball related. But, Kenny will have his opportunity to move forward, which is the best thing. And like I said, today, finally get some closure for him. And we also get some closure in terms of moving forward. We know that we're full speed ahead in terms of adhering to what he has to deal with, but at the same time, full speed ahead with our current team and ready to go.
All right, only about 30 seconds in our segment here. What is your message to the fan base? If there's a word that characterizes what their temperament or expectations ought to be, what is it?
Well, I think every coach is going to sit here and say patience. You're going to need some patience. But I would say this, at the end of the day, we have a group that's really invested in trying to compete and play hard and do things the right way to make the URI, not only alumni, former players, coaches, everybody that's involved in our program proud. And I think, patience is required, but at the same time, energy level, get us over the hump here early in the season as we're trying to work through some bumps and some bruises and some mistakes and a lot of opportunity here for guys to develop.
All right, we shall touch base over the season. Head coach Archie Miller, URI basketball. Final word and we come back. Stay with us. All right, check the schedules. Opening nights for URI, PC, Brown, Bryant are all upon us. And so is November 9th, the day after the election, a day I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, next week we will cover all of the results and break it down for you. And on WPRI weekdays 3 till 6. Thanks for tuning in. Go Rams. See ya.